The zero dimension. Imagine all of existence disappeared and nothing remained except a single, infinitely small point. In physics, this point has no size at all. If you tried to measure its length or width with an atomic ruler, the answer would always be zero. It is simply an address or a location in empty space. To picture it, think of a single pixel on your phone screen when it is turned off. That pixel has no space to walk through and has no left or right. If you were to live in this dimension, you would have no body at all. You would be nothing more than a fixed piece of information in the void, unable to move and unable to change. The first dimension. It begins when that point stretches itself to create a long thread. Physically speaking, we have now brought length into existence. In this reality, the laws of physics only allow you to move forward or backward. You cannot turn and you cannot see what exists beside the thread because the word beside simply does not exist in your physical vocabulary. Your perception of things would be extremely strange. Any creature standing in front of you would appear as nothing but a single point, and you would not know its length until you collided with it. The second dimension. It appears when we pull that thread sideways to get a flat surface combining length and width. To understand the physics of this dimension, look at your shadow on the ground. The shadow has surface area, but it has absolutely no thickness. The third dimension. It forms the moment we add height and enter our three-dimensional world. Physically, this dimension is what allows atoms to stack on top of each other to create volume. To understand the difference, think of a picture of an apple versus a real apple. In the picture, you only see one face and you cannot know what is inside. But in the three-dimensional world, you can peel the apple and see its core. The fourth dimension. In modern physics, it is not a ticking clock, but a fourth direction fused with space. To understand how it works, imagine your life is a long film reel. In our world, we move from one frame to the next and we only ever see the present. But in the fourth dimension, the entire reel is laid out in front of you. If you were a being from the fourth dimension, you would look at humans and see long physical tubes. You would see their birth at one end of the room and their death at the other end, and every moment of their life would exist as a single object stretched across time. For you, the past would be a real place you could physically walk through. The fifth dimension. It represents the entry into quantum mechanics and probability. To understand it, imagine you are standing today in front of two choices to study medicine or to study art. In the fourth dimension, you live only one path. But in the fifth dimension, there is a version of you that became a doctor and another version that became an artist, and both exist simultaneously at the same time. It works like an enormous tree where every decision you make branches a new limb into existence. If you were there, you would watch every possible version of your life play out based on every choice you ever made. The sixth dimension. It is the physical ability to fold the space of possibilities to jump from one life to another. Imagine a large sheet of paper with every branch of your life drawn on it. To get from your poor version to your wealthy version, you would need to walk a very long way through time. But in the sixth dimension, you can fold the paper so that the wealthy version touches the poor version instantly. Here you are not traveling through time, you are jumping between one reality and another in the blink of an eye. The seventh dimension. It is the bridge that takes us to entirely other universes, completely outside the one we know. In our universe, gravity works in a specific way, and light travels at a fixed speed, and time moves in one direction. But in the seventh dimension, you find universes where these laws are completely different. A universe where gravity pushes instead of pulls. A universe where light moves slower than sound. A universe where time runs backward. The laws you consider absolute are nothing more than the rules of your particular universe. The eighth dimension. It works as a comprehensive map of multiple universes. Imagine that every universe with all its possibilities and all its history is simply one book in an infinite library. In the eighth dimension, you can see how these universes branch off from one another. If you were there, you would see a cosmic fabric weaving together physical laws and other physical laws that have never once crossed the human mind. The ninth dimension. It allows us to fold the laws of physics themselves to jump between universes. To understand how it works, imagine you want to travel from our material universe to another universe where there is no matter at all, only musical notes. The distance here is not measured in kilometers, but in the difference between the rules of the game. The ninth dimension folds these rules and lets you shift from one reality to a completely different reality in an instant. The 10th dimension. It is the end of everything that can possibly be imagined. Remember the point we started with in the 0 dimension. The 10th dimension is also a point, but it is a point that contains everything. It is the point that holds every universe and every possibility and every version of you and every physical law that is possible or impossible. In the 10th dimension, there is no difference between you and a distant star or between the past and the future because all of existence is compressed into a single point of absolute being.